What do you think of Sam Altman?
I have mixed feelings about Sam. I do, you know, the ring of power, you know, can corrupt. And this is the ring of power. So, you know, I don't know. I want to know why Ilya felt so strongly as to fire Sam.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to a new video. So today we are going to be covering the feud between Sam Altman and Elon Musk. So this is going to be a fun one. Today we're going to go over all the things that have been said between the two tech giants, kind of their beginnings, why they were friends, why they've turned foes, and ultimately what could happen in the end, and see if these two can make amends. So yes, there is a big history. It's kind of a secret feud for some. If you've been really in the know of AI, you're somewhat familiar with it, but there's just been some stuff that's recently been said, and we're going to cover all of it today. So yes, Elon Musk, Sam Altman founded OpenAI together, but now they're publicly traded. Now they've publicly traded barbs. Here's a history of their working relationship. So to start kind of with some of the things that have been said, we have this tweet here, which I'm pulling up. Sorry, I'm streaming on a laptop today. Okay, so we have this tweet here from Sam Altman. This was back in when OpenAI was coming up with chat or custom GPTs. This is a slight diss at Elon Musk. It was a little nuanced. GPTs can save a lot of effort. Hi, I'll help build you a new ChatGPT or a new GPT. You can say something like, make your creative who helps generate visuals for new products, or, you know, this is the custom instructions that it gives you. Be a chatbot that answers the questions with cringy boomer humor in a sort of awkward shock to get laughs sort of way. Great, the chatbot is set up. Its name is Grok. So this was a clear attack on Grok, which, if you don't know, was Elon Musk's, or is Elon Musk's, attempt at recreating a different version of ChatGPT. But so obviously Sam Altman didn't just say this out of nowhere. So let's look at some more things that have been said over the years. This was from another interview, Sam Altman. This will be, let me load this up. This is when he was on Joe Rogan.
What do you think about, like, when Elon was calling for a pause on AI?
He was like starting an AGI company while he was doing that.
That's some backhanded. That's definitely a backhanded shot at Elon Musk, and I have to agree with Sam here. Why is he critiquing, or why would Elon Musk be critiquing about AI and the dangers of it while simultaneously creating his own thing? On one hand, you have people who argue, well, if he does it for himself, maybe he can kind of control the idea of safety. On the other hand, it kind of looks like, well, you're creating the same exact thing as ChatGPT, so are you, you know, it still could potentially have the same risks as it, so maybe you're just doing it for yourself. Let me play the rest of this clip.
So didn't he start it like after he was calling for the pause?
I think before, but I don't remember. In any case,
is it one of those you can't beat him, join him things?
I think the instinct of saying, like, we've really got to figure out how to make this safe and good and, like, widely good is really important. But I think calling for a pause is, like, naive at best. I kind of think you can't make progress on the safety part of this, as we mentioned earlier, by sitting like in a room and thinking hard. You've got to see where the technology goes. You've got to have contact with reality. And then when you but we're trying to like make progress towards AGI condition.
So this is kind of just another, you know, I get what Sam's saying here. This is like, hey, we're not trying to build anything dangerous. We're also humans here. We have the same thoughts on AI safety as you. or maybe not quite the same, but there is a lot of similarities there. We're trying our best, and you have to test. The only way you can find how to be safe with AI is by actually testing it. You can't just theorize it. So you got to actually put it to the test. So that's kind of what Sam Altman's saying. We also have another clip about something that was said, and this was on John Oliver last week tonight. Oh, sorry, excuse the language. Let me...
Single human on Earth, demonstrating a pretty strong messianic streak. In fact, Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, who's both worked with and clashed with Musk, has said Elon desperately wants the world to be saved, but only if he can be the one to save it, which is a pretty big asterisk. It's like Jesus says in the book of Matthew, love thy neighbour, but more importantly, me, and if you don't, fuck you, find
Beep,
your own
beep,
heaven, Jay
beep.
Grizzle out.
Beep.
And I know there are people who love
Sorry,
Elon and
we don't
people
have
who
actual sound
utterly
effects here.
hate him. And there are going to be parts of this piece that irritate both groups. There are also people who would understandably rather just ignore him. But as you will see, we might have passed the point where that is an option for any of us. So tonight, let's look at...
And sorry
Musk,
if
and let's start
some of
with
it's
how he
laggy.
earned
I
his
am trying to
business
make it
genius
full
reputation.
screen.
I'm
It's
gonna
just
skip over the
my
early years of
laptop
growing up in apartheid
has a
South
lot of
Africa,
tabs open.
then
Yeah,
emigrating to the US via Canada.
So yes, so as you can see, another quote from Sam Altman. It's a little bit more severe than kind of what we saw from earlier days. So saying he only wants to save it with, he'd only want to save the world if he's the one to do it. So that's definitely a pretty bold claim from Sam Altman, especially kind of if you look at where their story came from. So this is something else I wanted to get into today. So even though we know the feud now, there is actually a really deep history between them that actually goes all the way back to 2002, when Elon Musk was already working on Tesla, or I believe at the time it might have been PayPal. He was in tech, and Altman was a teenager. They had actually met, became friends, and shared a passion for AI. And then this was until 2015, they actually joined forces to co-found OpenAI and create which was, obviously the parent company, and would go on to form ChatGPT. So I actually have a fun clip here to play from back in the day when Elon Musk... Oh, sorry, we're going to have to watch an ad. I tried to preload the video so we didn't have to watch
There's a good chance
ads.
somebody's trying to hack your website right now. You gotta make sure you're covered.
Let me
Today
also
we have
close
Elon
out
Musk. Elon,
some
thank
of
you for
these
joining
other
us.
tabs.
Thanks for having me.
So, we want to spend the time today talking about.
Sorry about this. Okay, so let me make this full screen here. So
your view of the future and what people should work on. So,
if you can, so here, obviously, this was back in the day. This was before they, oh, sorry, 1 second. Volume is super low. Let me turn this up a little bit.
to start off, could you tell us, you famously said when you were younger there were 5 problems that you thought were most important for you to work on. If you were 22 today, what would the 5 problems that you would think about working on be?
Well, first of all, I think if somebody is doing something that is useful to the rest of society, I think that's a good thing. Like, it doesn't have to change the world. Like, if you're doing something that has high value to people, and frankly, even if it's something, if it's like just a little game, or some improvement in photo sharing or something, if it has a small amount of good for a large number of people, I think that's fine. Like, stuff doesn't need to be changed the world just to be good. But in terms of,
So I actually do want to move to a quote here later on in the video that I found.
it's great, as is something that makes even a small difference. Yeah, just trying to be useful and
And then
matter.
when you're trying to estimate probability of success, so
Companies had no interest in radical innovation. All they wanted in rockets is pretty bad. Like
I lost the
it
timestamp.
is basically trends to zero. People sometimes think technology just automatically gets better every year, but it actually doesn't. It only gets better if smart people work like crazy to make it better. That's how any technology actually gets better. And by itself, technology, if people don't work on it, actually will decline. I mean, you could look at the history of civilizations, many civilizations, and look at, say, ancient Egypt, where they were able to build these incredible pyramids, and then they basically forgot how to
So this is the clip I
build
was looking
pyramids. And then even hieroglyphics, they forgot how to read hieroglyphics. Or you look at Rome and how they were able to build these incredible roadways and aqueducts and indoor plumbing, and they forgot how to do all of those things. There are many such examples in history. So I think should always bear in mind that entropy is not on your side.
Also, is it me or do they just look super young here? I don't know. I think this was back in 2016, so yeah, about 7 years ago. So yeah, I don't know. They look super young. I guess a lot of long hours.
one thing I really like about you is you are unusually fearless and willing to go in the face of other people telling you something is crazy. And I know a lot of pretty crazy people, you still stand out. Where does that...
I don't know if that was supposed to be as backhanded as it was, or if that was like a subtle barb, or if that was just like playfully like saluting. I don't know, but based off his reaction, I don't even know if he noticed it, but we should play that one again.
Is you are unusually fearless and willing to go in the face of other people telling you something is crazy. And I know a lot of pretty crazy people, you still stand out. Where does that... is you are unusually fearless.
One more time.
Willing to go in the face of other people telling you something is crazy. And I know a lot of pretty crazy people, you still stand out.
I know a lot of pretty crazy people and you still stand out. Either that's like a really big insult or a really big compliment. I will say that in parts of Sam Altman's career since all of this feud has happened, so clearly they started out friends before all these barbs, but something changed, and so that's another thing I kind of wanted to get into today is how did they end up talking trash with each other when it started out really cordial here. And Sam Altman even at one point was quoted as saying Elon Musk was one of his heroes back in the day. I don't think that's the case now, just based off what's been said, or I think they at least have a respect for each other and what each has been able to accomplish. But I do think there is, as far as like the personal connection, that's soured a little bit. So let's kind of look at here. Okay, so history of working relationship. So where did it all go wrong? Elon Musk, Sam Altman lead rival AI firms now, and they take public barbs at each other. They all started together back in 2015 when Elon Musk actually helped fund OpenAI. He is on record as saying he felt that he was actually the reason OpenAI exists. The creation of OpenAI, what it stood for was open source AI. So what was really the problem? So when he says biggest threat to humanity, at the time before OpenAI existed, you had Google and DeepMind, which were basically the big AI players in the world, and they controlled all the computing power, all the AI engineers, all the smart developers working on AI. So if you knew stuff about AI, you were working for Google. So Elon Musk or Sam Altman, they both had these ideas of AI. Sam needed some funding. Elon Musk also, not just being, the one to just be hands off and throw money and say, here you go. He wanted to be very hands on. So this is where a lot of the problems came into play. So after a while of working with each other, he stepped down in 2018. This was mostly about not just the safety of AI. I think Sam Altman and Elon Musk agree pretty similar on AI safety regulations, but there was an issue mostly with the open source aspect. So Elon Musk has been very hypercritical of OpenAI since then because they're no longer open source. They are closed source so OpenAI started open source non-profit and kind of like we're going to take the power out of Google's hands. And since then, now they are $90 billion valuation, for profit, and not open source. So the name is kind of, they're just keeping it for the sake of simplicity, but it's no longer the case of it's not open source. So it really shouldn't be named OpenAI. So Elon Musk stepped down on the board back in 2018. And honestly, at the time, this wasn't big news. If you look, most of the articles about the stepping down weren't until recently. A big reason is because no one really cared about AI back in 2018. Sure, there's always been talks of AI, but it wasn't serious. 2022 was the year that ChatGPT really went mainstream. Elon Musk was focusing on other things like Tesla, SpaceX. So no one was like, oh, he's not running another company. It was kind of just like, okay, he stepped away. But it actually came out that there was a power struggle between the two, and that's why he stepped down from the board, because he really wanted to take it over. So that could also be a reason why Sam Altman said what he said about Elon Musk needing to be the person to, if he wants the world to be safe, he wants to be the one to do it. Basically saying he wants AI and AI to be safe, but only if he's the one to create it. So then we go to 2019. Didn't agree. Yep, more of the same stuff. This was that he had time invested elsewhere, as you can see, and just didn't agree with some of the OpenAI team. So clear power struggle, and basically ever since then there's just been some animosity, and it kind of resurfaced back when ChatGPT went public. So here I'd love to open a clip. 1 second. There might not be a
Jolie shower. Stop spending money on all that skin and hair care if you're not going to address the root of the problem, your shower water.
Have a Jolie shower head.
All right.
On some of the ideas behind OpenAI is Elon Musk. You have agreed on a lot of things. You've disagreed on some things. What have been some interesting things you've agreed and disagreed on? Speaking of fun debate on Twitter.
I think we agree on the magnitude of the downside of AGI and the need to get not only safety right, but get to a world where people are much better off because AGI exists than if AGI had never been built.
Yeah. What do you disagree on?
Elon is obviously attacking us some on Twitter right now on a few different vectors. And I have...
All right. Let's see here. Sorry about that. We're going to do it. We're doing it live, people. We're doing it live. This is a weekly event where I kind of just watch my computer freeze for a ridiculous amount of periods at a time. All right. We're going full screen.
Empathy, because I believe he is, understandably so, really stressed about AGI safety. I'm sure there are some other motivations going on too, but that's definitely one of them. I saw this video of Elon a long time ago talking about SpaceX. Maybe it was on some news show. And a lot of early pioneers in space were really bashing SpaceX, and maybe Elon too. And he was visibly very hurt by that and said, you know, those guys are heroes of mine, and I sucks, and I wish they would see how hard we're trying. I definitely grew up with Elon as a hero of mine. You know.
So that's what I kind of mentioned earlier. He said he grew up with it, but it's kind of changed.
Despite him being a jerk on Twitter or whatever, I'm happy he exists in the world. But I wish he would do more to look at the hard work we're doing to get this stuff right.
A little bit more love.
Yeah, so as you can see, Sam Altman clearly respects Elon. I think Elon clearly respects Sam. This is just kind of a lot of disagreements and definitely some ego involved. It definitely feels more ego on the Elon side. I think he's been more openly critical of the other, whereas Sam's tried to do it subtly and not make a ton of noise about it. So yeah, taking several shots at OpenAI. Should be more open. Safety's not high. Basically saying they're just kind of doing whatever. In the last interview he did with the New York Times, Elon was basically alluding to maybe they had an issue with AI safety, even though no one ever found that to be the case. But he definitely was adding fuel to the speculation. So Elon Musk said the company had prior access to the database of Twitter to train the AI chatbot. And yeah, basically there were some issues there about how they were training ChatGPT. Yeah, so there's been reports about the success of it. I don't think that's a secret. Elon has definitely been saying, hey, we're creating our own chatbot. I'm going to put it on X, and it's going to compete. Obviously, it hasn't really taken off. It's still early, but yeah, I don't know. Personally, I don't think a lot of people are really using chatbots for tweets or anything like that. I haven't seen a lot of talk for it, and it's only for premium users anyway. So there's definitely a competition. It's a big reason he created Grok, another chatbot. And yeah, I mean, again, it's kind of the same. I hate to repeat myself, but basically, to sum it up, and this kind of be the last time mention of it, but there was a lot of history between the two, a lot of criticisms of the two, and now they both have competing AI chatbots. ChatGPT is clearly a bigger one. X isn't necessarily a bigger platform. Elon Musk is, probably has more reach, at least on a broad view, but as far as AI, I'd say Sam Altman probably has a bigger influence. So right now it's all about coexisting and see if they can become friends at any point in the future. So yeah, there's a lot of speculation about whether they have ever been friends. Some people say no, but based off that interview when they were, together and back before they were super famous, it sounded like there was a relationship there, and there are some commonalities between the two. I wouldn't be surprised if they can at least have that working friendship. We'll be curious to see how there's an impact on the tech landscape, how it's going to affect AI. Elon Musk, it doesn't really. I mean, Tesla's had their own self-driving AI, but as far as like chatbots go, it's definitely, I'd say ChatGPT and OpenAI are ahead. So there hasn't really been too much disclosed outside of that. I don't think it really goes deeper as far as like any secrets that we haven't heard between the two. I think it's pretty out in the open of what they feel about each other, and we'll kind of just see how things go in the future. So yeah, this was a fun little video to do. I think we might even do a video on this in the future, kind of go over and make like a cool documentary on it. Could be fun. Let us know in the comments if that's something you want to see. We also have other videos talking about OpenAI's change, how they went from just OpenAI to potentially going public, and how they got to a valuation of $90 billion. So we will leave a link for that in the description, but that is also another live stream that we did. And then we'll obviously keep updates along the way with any changes, but yeah, it seems like there's definitely some feuding going on, and I won't be surprised to see some more stuff in the headlines in the near future. It seems like with each development that the other person makes, there's some sort of barb. So yeah, we'll have to see which one wins out. Yeah, this was a fun stream. I see a few of you in here. Yeah, closed AI. Yeah, honestly, that's what a lot of people have been calling it. We should do a vote to see which name. We should run a poll, see which one is the favorite to win the new name for OpenAI. But it definitely shouldn't be OpenAI. I don't know. It's like having a burger restaurant named Burgers, and then they just switch like pasta, and you're still calling it a burger restaurant. It just doesn't make sense. So yeah, I think that wraps up today's stream. Make sure to like if you haven't already. Make sure to subscribe for any upcoming videos and live streams that we will do. The goal is to do live streams every Friday. We will be posting tons of AI news content, tons of AI reviews. We do all sorts of ChatGPT reviews, custom GPT reviews, other AI tools. We have our own website if you want to check out. It is www.aimarketingcreatortools.com. We have a lot of blog content. If you're interested in using any AI tools and want a discount, we do have some nice affiliate links in the description as well as on the website. So make sure to go check all of that out. That's going to wrap up today's stream, and hope to see you next one. Thanks. Bye.